Welcome back, everybody, to the Abbott of Tone. More like the Abbott and Costello of Tone.
Now, wait a minute. Now, what are you going to do? What are you doing out here?
On the bench today, we have this beautiful Ampeg V3. Early 80s, I think, made in Japan. It's supposed to be the Ampeg version of a JCM 800, or to compete with it, something like that. And already fired her up. Tubed her up, fired her up, didn't mess with it at all, and she seems to be functioning as designed, which is nice. However, this amplifier did not come with a foot switch. Let's see here. This is where the foot switch goes. It goes into like a 5-pin XLR connector. So on today's docket, Jesus, we're running out of space here. I need a bigger bench.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're going to try and make a foot switch for this thing because it has a couple of channels and it has reverb that should all be foot switch controlled. Now, of course, Ampeg at the time, in their infinite wisdom, called this thing a V3, and finding a schematic for this thing or the foot switch is virtually impossible, because there's another very famous V3 that Ampeg built back in the 70s that has absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever. Period, end of sentence.
And that's all I have to say about that.
But anyway, through my lengthy search, I was able to find this. I kind of had an idea of how it worked. I kind of figured that, you click a foot switch thingy, and I figured it was probably sending juice to a relay, which was closing that, and that would do the switching. And this schematic that I found appears to have confirmed my suspicions. So let's give a shout out to our friend Filip Petraszewski. Nice Polish name right there. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we got some parts, we got some switches. Don't need triple pole, triple throw, but this is what I have right now, and we're just using this crap here to do proof of concept. And I got this guy off the old eBay. I'll put a link in the thing if you need to get one of those. But yeah, we'll do a proof of concept, see if we can't switch some channels and switch on some reverb, because there's no controls to do that without the foot switch, so it's kind of a necessary part of this amplifier. So if that sounds interesting to you, and I don't know why it would, but just in case, we're going to see if we can't put one of these together. Alright, here we go.
Hey, there's a hard drive to the job!
Okay, let's talk about relays and how I believe it pertains to this amplifier in the switching of the channels and turning the reverb on and off. The relay, you can think of it as like a switch that just directs traffic. Either you can go down the left path or you can go down the right path. Go down the path of righteousness or go down the path of destruction, as it were.
You read the Bible, Ringo?
Anyway, so let's just assume for this example, you have a low gain and a high gain channel. So here's the little switch here, and when it's in low gain, the electrons will take this path and they'll go through the low gain part of the circuit. Now if you want to get high gain, you need to connect to this part of the circuit. You need to redirect it from going this way, redirect your electrons over to this path. And the way that happens is there is a low voltage, I believe, on this amplifier, 6.3, so that'll be taken off your heater line. And what you do is you flip the switch, and that switch will connect it. It'll close the circuit so that electrons can go to ground. You have current here, and this thing here, this coil, is an electromagnet. And what that does is it pulls this metal contact over to here, and that will redirect the path to your high gain section of your circuit. Hopefully that makes sense. And these are very common if you work on cars at all. This is what you see quite a bit for like your turning your high beams on and off, etc. hopefully that makes sense. And the way I believe this works in the circuit. Yeah, I just explained how I believe this works in the circuit. Same thing for the reverb. This probably goes to nowhere. This isn't connected to anything, but when you want to turn the reverb on, you will flip the switch. This will give the electrons a path to ground, which will energize the coil, which will create a magnet, which will pull this flipper over to this path, and then you can go through the reverb section of your circuit. That'll turn your reverb on. Hopefully that makes sense. I think I confused myself more than anything after trying to explain it. But anyway, that's the theory.
How you like me now? My boy's wicked smart.
Alright, so the mechanical portion of this project is done. And again, this is just for proof of concept. I know it's all redneck and cattywampus, but just want to get this to work. And if it works, probably going to keep this amp for a little while, so I'll keep this for a little while. But if I ever do end up selling this thing, I'll make a nice pedal. Maybe we'll go Brad style and find a doorstop somewhere.
Hello everybody, I'm going to take a black one and
make a doorstop pedal. But anyway, I digress. It needs a couple other things. These switches, I mean, this is really a high, very high quality amplifier, except for some of the hardware they used. I put this in temporarily. This is supposed to be on, off, on. It's just on right now. And I ordered the ordered a rocker switch for this, but I misread the description, and it's basically the same thing. So anyway, but these switches are really crappy, so you know, probably replace both those. But anyway, more digression. So, looking at our schematic and looking at the business end of this Footswitch, it looks like if we're looking at the switch this way, this appears to line up perfectly. I hit the, you would think the black wire would be ground. I tested the resistance and all the connectors there, and they're all in the megohms except for the black, so that, you know, does appear to be ground, so that's good, because where are we? Focus. Oh, there we go. Pin 1 goes to ground. Perfect. And also, if we look at the colors of the wires, we have green, red, and blue, and we have green, red, and nothing. So that kind of lines up. If we look at this, so the pin 2 would be, just missed a pointer. Pin 2 would be the green channel, pin 3 would be the red channel, and pin 4, the blue, would go to the reverb. So yeah, this all looks good. I think it's going to work. And again, on my my redneck pedal here, I'm not going to bother putting in LEDs for now. That'll be on the if and when I make a nice looking one. So getting there. Hang tight. Here we are. We got the back of the plug all wired up with the aid of our helping hands.
I prefer to use my hand.
Why's that?
Because that way you get the feel of the ice cream. Smell that. Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on. Okie doke, here we are. So on each switch, we'll go with channel 1 here. The power wire goes on one end of the switch, the ground on the other, and that's the same for each one. And then on the common of each switch will be the signal wire for your 3 things, your channel 1, channel 2, and your reverb. At least according to this. But yeah, let's hook it up, see what happens. Here we are. I got the reverb tank hooked up for the first time. Pretty sure this is the right reverb tank. This is the one I pulled out of the pile. I vaguely remember when I stripped the cabinet that this had, if you can see that, no, you can't see that, but it had the more modern looking, like red and black RCA cable connectors, so pretty sure this is the right one. Of course, the inputs and outputs of the, if you can see that right there, RCA cables for the reverb tank are not labeled. Originally I had the black RCA connector towards the front end or the knob end of the chassis, and it did work, but the signal, the guitar itself, sounded a little wimpy. So I swapped it around. Reverb still works, and the guitar signal sounds more like I believe it should. So if you have one of these, I believe the red one, red RCA for the reverb tank, goes towards the front, the knob end, and the black connector goes towards the rear of the chassis. Alright, so the Tone Priest is going to have a delicious McDonald's crispy chicken sandwich. Breakfast of champions.
I worked out a lot, ate a lot of Wheaties.
Take it from Bruce Jenner. Wheaties is the breakfast of champions.
And then we're going to plug this sucker in and see what happens. Stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. Alright, we're back. We had our delicious McDonald's crispy chicken sandwich for breakfast, and we were just listening to Nielsen jam away on his Steve Vai guitar. But so we're going to plug this all up, see what happens. I got this 5-pin XLR style cable. I think these are used actually for like lighting rigs. I don't know. But what the hell? It's awful short. I don't know what the Tone Priest was thinking when he bought a cable this short. Actually, I think I know what he was thinking. He was thinking he didn't want to spend a lot of money on something that may or may not work. Trying something new around here. But enough talk. Let's do this. Okay, so we got it all dialed up. 121 volts. Oh, 120. We're in the standby mode. Here we are, but we do have the power on, of course. And this is where we were before. Alright, let's see if this works. Aw, yeah!
Expect anything different?
Check it out. Wow, look at that. The Tone Priest actually did a project and finished it all in one Saturday morning, and it works. This is a first right here. Yeah. I'm going to see the subscribers rolling in now. Maybe I'll do a little demo.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Of this amp mic'd up so you can hear my horrible guitar playing. This amp just does not sound good on the phone microphone audio. It's just too damn loud. Even with the master down, it just... So, we want to give ourselves the best chance for sounding good, as unlikely as that is. But, yeah, let's try that. See how she works. Okay, so a quick thing before all that. Little thing about how this amplifier works. You would think, you know, the red would indicate the high gain, you know, because red, you know, is associated with evil and, I don't know, high gain, I guess. And green would be your, like, clean channel, but it's kind of counterintuitive. The green channel here, channel 1, with the pre and post volume, that's your high gain. So when green light's on, you got your nice Malcolm Young tone. And then the volume 2 knob here, this is your clean channel. And when both lights are off, you got nothing. So got to have at least one light on. And it's kind of neat. You just click both channels in, say you're cranking away and you come ready to do a kick-ass, you know, guitar solo, just bam, put that sucker in and wail away.
So yeah, it's really, really good. I'm very excited about that.
And the reverb, he doesn't get a light. I don't know why they sprung for this, but they couldn't spring for a blue light. I mean, come on, guys. What the heck? But there's a really good video or two that another YouTuber did. He done did it. I'll put a link in the thing down there, if I remember, as well as some links to the, you know, where I got the socket and the cable and stuff. So in case you need to make one of these, I believe this also works for a V3, a V5, and a V7. Early 80s Ampegs made in Japan, whatever they are, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, That's all I got. Moving on. Alright, this is what we're doing. We got this Univox 2x12 mic'd up with a, I forget the brand of this, GLS Audio ES-57 clone. And we're going straight into Reaper through this Steinberg UR22C into my personal computer, and we got a good old HP typing away here. And necessary disclaimer, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, when I demo these things, I am not a guitar player, or certainly not a good one. That should become painfully obvious in a couple of seconds here. I'm a bass player.
Normal people can't think this shit up. This stuff comes right from the bass players.
But I just don't have any guitar players I can, you know, yank off the shelf. So, well, we'll do the best we can. But, yeah, I'm going to close all the doors and windows so the neighbors don't call the cops. I mean, this isn't the loudest amp in the world. I mean, it's loud, but it's not the loudest amp in the world. We got a couple of 6550s cooking away back there. So, yeah, it's definitely in, you know, the danger of cops being called. So, all right, without further ado, let's do this. Part. Need a longer cable for this, but so there you have it. I hope that wasn't too horrible. We got our redneck foot switch for the old Ampeg. V3. I believe it's a V3 SC. Probably do another video on this amp. I haven't serviced it yet, biased it or anything. This is just as I received it, and I believe it's been sitting in the previous owner's basement for a decade or two. So you know, we need to go through it, check the bias. I just built, speaking of redneck repair, I just built a bias probe, thanks to the help of Brad the Guitologist video, link in the fucking thing if I remember. But I'm not going to hook this up to my my good multimeter. I need to go to Harbor Freight and get one of the you know, $1.99 specials, and you know, we'll check the bias it up. I think she's running a little bit cold. I don't know why I say that. I just have that feeling. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, she works pretty good. Sounds great here. I don't know how it sounded on the demo, but there you have it.
Done.